when I went through all the stuff that I went through, where it all started with is who I knew I was, what I believed about myself. And, we have a saying in our family that never let your circumstances define you.
I love that.
And I think it's so easy for us to look at where we're at
Right.
or look at what's going on around us and let that be the defining factor on, I'm working in a grocery store. Oh, you can't play in the NFL because you're working in a grocery store. No, I can. I have the talent to play in the NFL. It's just right now I'm in a grocery store because this is where I find myself, or playing arena football or Europe. And so to me, it was never about circumstances. And I think in life, too often, we let our circumstances dictate what we think about ourselves instead of saying, no, I know who I am, believe in who I am, and now I'm going to press through, because sometimes we find ourselves in those situations, right? I always say most people have their supermarket moment.
Yeah.
Like people look at my journey in the NFL and go, man, he did it so different. But if you look at most people's journey in life, it's very similar to mine, where you have times where you're in places you don't want to be and you don't know how you got there, but you're not going to end there.
Right.
That's just where I'm at right now. Now let's take the first step. So to me, it was always about believing in who I was, staying true to that, and then working through the circumstances I found myself in.
Did you ever go back to that grocery store?
I've been back a few times, yes. Yes.
You guys look at you a little different now?
I mean, I think they do. But again, I think it's one thing that's really connected me with a lot of people.
Right.
Was, that I did have that moment and I had that struggle. And, I found myself in a place I didn't know how I even got there. Like, I was, 3 weeks before that, I was in Green Bay's training camp, and I'm thinking, here we are.
Right.
I'm this close to my dream, and now I'm working in a grocery store. But I don't look at it. I just look at it like it's life. This is what happened. I don't go back there and look what I did, or go back and gain some kind of inspiration. It's just really, life throws different things at you, and we all have different paths and different journeys, and it's about navigating those things. And when your opportunity comes, you're ready for it. You believe in who you are. You're confident in it, and you go and chase it.
Gotta strike while the iron's hot, baby.
Yeah.
Have to.
Yeah.
Have to. Now that ball's done, how are you being the best version of yourself you could possibly be every day?
I think the goal, and it's funny because it's something I think I learned when I was in a grocery store, is that, at the end of the night, we always had to face the aisle, which simply means we take all of our product and we pull it to the front of the aisle, and then we turn the label so when you walk in and get your soup, if it's tomato or chicken noodle or whatever.
Right.
And I remember, thinking to myself when I was in that grocery store, like, all right, at the end of the night, I am going to have the best faced aisle. My aisle is going to look the cleanest of any aisle in the store. And I know when John or Jim or Susie walk into aisle 7 the next day at 6 a.m., not one of them is going to say, wow, look at this aisle. This aisle is clean.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to do that. But to me, it was about a mindset of excellence. Yes, this is where I'm at. Don't want to be here, but I'm going to be excellent at it. And so that became my mindset in everything that I do. So now, whether it was playing in the NFL or now it's retired or doing the stuff I do on TV or on radio or even being a parent or being a husband, it's about trying to be excellent at even the littlest things, excellent at everything that I do. And so that's my mindset whenever I take on any challenge, any task. And that, to me, becomes what life's all about, is wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, be great at it. Chase it.
Chase greatness. Be the best version of yourself you could possibly be every day. Last thing for you. Now that you're done playing ball and you're in the media industry and you're chasing to be the best version of yourself in that side of things, what are some tools in your toolbox that you've used to help elevating your game? Whether it is as a father or as a husband, as whatever it is in your life, do you reference, are you a David Goggins guy? What do you got for me?
The biggest thing for me is I always ask myself, how are you going to separate yourself?
Have to.
So when I was playing, it was like, okay, you can't do everything. You're not Patrick Mahomes. You're not Lamar Jackson. So quit trying to be them. But what do you have that can separate you?
Right.
I do the same thing now that I do analyst work. I look at it and go, okay, how am I going to do it differently? How am I going to be able to bring different knowledge than
whoever?
The 500 million people that are out there doing the same thing. And so it's my approach every day is, what are you going to do that's different? Look at yourself and go, what do you have? What skills do you have that can separate you from everybody else? And so that's kind of my mindset with whatever I do. How do you separate yourself as a husband? How do you separate yourself as a father from other people? And even though it's not about comparison, it's simply just about chasing and looking at things a different way than everybody else might. I'm not just sitting there and going, okay, so-and-so does it this way and this guy does it this way. let me be just as good as them. No, I'm like, okay, they do it that way. How can I separate myself from them and so people want to tune in and want to listen to what I have to say or want to watch me and emulate how I live or my marriage or whatever because we do it differently.
Right.